And hello, handicappers, and welcome to Belterra Park, Cincinnati. And hello, handicappers, and welcome to Belterra Park, Cincinnati. I'm track announcer Ed Meyer, and welcome here to a gorgeous summer day of live racing action here at Belterra Park, Cincinnati. Joining me as always is my co-host, Miss Ashley Holiday. How you doing, Ashley?
I'm good, Ed. How are you today?
Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. I'm ready to really dig into this card. We got some great races. We got the Cincinnati Stakes and the Queen City Handicap on tap for 8 races. So we've got a beautiful day. We got turf racing. It is fast and firm. Turf route should be set at 12 feet.
Very nice. Love when we're on the turf. We have 2 really great races like I talked about in addition to our other 6 races today. So great 8-race card. It's about 89 Cincinnati area today. Right now, all sunshine. Looks like we might get a little cloud relief maybe halfway through the day. Take some of this hot sun off of us. Anyways, let's get right into the first race, Ed.
You better believe it. In today's first race, we have a claiming event. Traveling 6 furlongs, there is a scratch, and we're going to do scratches as we go along. Once again, we touched on fast and firm. Turf row is set at 12 feet. Scratch. Number 3, Wanna Have Fun. Ashley, we're going to go 3/4 mile, 6 furlongs. Lead us on.
All right, Ed, in this race, I'm going to go 6-4-1. I'm going to use the 6. Arcelor on top, Sunny Leone in the irons for Elliott Sullivan. Getting Sunny Leone up is certainly never a bad thing. Sunny did ride this mare in her last start out here at Belterra. This filly loves going 3/4, racing really well. She has been second best in her last 5 starts. Obviously, that shows me has great form going into the race today. I think looks to be the best, taking a little bit of a class drop. Has been running against our claiming 8,000 horses. Today she's down in the beaten claiming for 5,000, so kind of the bottom claiming condition, if you will, that we have here. Again, like I said, handles this 3/4 distance well, is in excellent form, second best her last 5 lines. Looks to be much the best in here for me. And then for second, I'm going to go with the 4 Seaport Storm. Not a bad start out its last time. Is coming second start off of like a little bit of a winter spring break, if you will. And we have talked about horses coming, their second and third start off of a break being a really good handicapping angle to look at here. Isaiah Wiseman in the irons for Sherman Mitchell. Looks to be second best for me. And then for third, I'm going to the 1 Celestial Orb. Jockey Vernon Bush has been riding really well here lately. We've seen him in the winner's circle a few times already. This filly gets along with this group, fits right in here well. Is going to get a little bit of distance relief today. Was racing at a mile her last time out. 2 starts back where she was going 3/4. Did have a pretty good second place finish. So for me in race 1, 6-4-1.
Very nice indeed. For me, I'm going to go 6-1-7 in today's opener, and I'm going to go with Arcelor. Elliott Sullivan is winning 10%, but this 8-year-old mare is 2 for 2 in the money at Belterra Park, so likes the surface here. For me, that's a big plus. Take a look at that last race out. The place spot, the comment line from Echo Base reads, and that was for 8,000. Dropping down in class like a rock in the river. I mean, it's really going to make a difference, getting a whole lot of class. Sunny Leone, I just saw him in the jocks room. He was just getting all peppered up and ready for the day. He's always a live wire and one of the really top guys in our room. He's always happy and he's ready to run. Sunny, you cannot leave out. He's winning 20% of the time. This is can offer just a brief layoff here, dropping in class. That kind of caught my eye here. And then I come back to the 1, and that is Celestial Orb, who's 5 for 9 in the money for William March. And once again, Vernon Bush has been riding very well. He's 12% in the money. He's had 2 wins from 17 starts. Coming in from Tampa, this is second time over the Belterra Park Oval. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go 6, 1, and 7, and I'm going to round out with a 7. Trust in me for the end of my trifecta.
So we both are on the 6 here. Obviously kind of a standout. And before the 3 got scratched, I think we both were going to kind of use that one for a little bit of play here as well. But both of us, Ed and I, on the 6 Arcelor in race 1. Moving on to race 2, it's our 12-5 maiden claimers going a mile on the dirt. And I think, Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to have the 7, L. McTyson, out in this race.
Now, he was a boxer. I believe. I believe it's L. Mike Tyson.
Yes.
I couldn't wait to call this
my
this horse.
goodness.
Actually, L. Mike Tyson is scratched, as Ashley was saying. It's a maiden claiming event, traveling 1 mile, and we've only got one scratch in there, so we got a really nice field of 7, maiden claiming 12-5. Should be a whole lot of fun here. Ashley, take us away.
All right, in race 2, I'm going to kind of take a shot in here, if you will, on the 8 Keen on You, who happens to be owned by Take a Shot LLC. So for me, it's just going to work out in here today. So for me, the 8 Keen on You, David Halder in the irons, yet again going to make his 4th ride on this filly in her last few starts. Has been running here at Belterra Park. What I like about her and what makes her stand out to me in here is that she's been handling this mile distance already. Some of these other fillies have just been running 5/8 to 3/4. She's been running this mile pretty consistently, so the distance should not be an issue for her. One thing that is a little bit concerning is she has been running in our bottom maiden claimers for 5,000. Did have a 2nd place finish her last time out, is kind of jumping up in class a little bit in here today, but again, I always say horses don't know what they're running for. So I think she looks pretty good in here, and like I said, I'm going to take a shot on her in here. So for 2nd, I'm going to use the 2 Kentucky Hot Brown. I put this horse in the top. My top 3 last time out was 2nd place finish. And if you look at the Equibase lines, this is what I like. Yielded late, so just fell a little short late. This filly had only run twice since March, so again, 3rd start off a little bit of a break. That's always a good handicapping angle that I like to mention. Distance is a question kind of here for me with her. Can she handle the mile? But she obviously does look to be pretty fit and has been running well her last 2 starts. And then for the 3rd place, I'm going to use the 4, The Jig Is Up. This is one that I think can handle this distance. We see it running between 3/4 and a mile pretty consistently. Can handle this distance, as I mentioned, get Santiago Gonzalez up for Pablo Torres. Looks to be pretty good in here. So for me, 8-2-4, Keen on You on top.
Not bad at all. Today's 2nd race, I'm going to go 1, 6, and 2. And the one Lute's Angel really caught my eye. This 3-year-old gelding by Midnight Lute really is going to improve on the big class drop. This is a big time class drop for maiden special weight down to maiden claiming 12.5. And I see a little bit of speed in this gelding's future here. Tiago Canuto has been riding very well. He's been kind of finding his spots, and he's really finding his niche here at Belterra Park. And they're going to go a route. They're going to go from 6 furlongs to a route. And trainer Hugo Andrade, who's winning 18% of the time, very heady numbers indeed. Going to sprint to a route, he gets his picture taken 13% of the time. The dam was stakes placed. I see flag fall to That's All. Tiago Canuto award, dropping in class. The trainer does very well with sprint to a route. So that's my top pick in here. And then I go to the 6, and that is Cool River Dance, Isaiah Wiseman for Rick Jordan. And I'll tell you what, I'm really watching Isaiah Wiseman. His game is really turning up, and he's a really nice addition to our jockey colony here. We got a tough little jockey colony, and when anybody can win at any toss of the dice, I'll tell you what, that only equates to better prices and even better payoffs for you. So the 6 is my 2nd pick in here. Did you bring this wind?
I didn't ask for the wind. I even had to put my hair up in a clip because it was all over the place. So a little bit of a wind hazard for Ed and I right now.
Well, that's what I forgot to do is put my hair up in a clip.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
And then the speedster, Kentucky Hot Brown, and Ronnie Betancourt aboard. I think a lot of speed here, which is going to set up maybe Lute's Angel, maybe lay just off of the leader and possibly be poised to pounce right about the 3/8 pole. So for me, it's 1, 6, and 2 in today's 2nd.
Very nice, Ed. Moving on into our 3rd race. 3rd race today is our claiming for 8,000 down to 7,500, going 3/4 on the dirt. And I believe our 3rd race is clear for scratches. Very good. We got all 6 going to the gate in here. So in race 3, I'm going to go 6-2-3. Going to put the 6 Aunt Irene on top in here. Santiago Gonzalez for trainer Richard Estevanco, owner Christina Estevanco, family affair in here for Aunt Irene. This filly has been no worse than 2nd in her last 4 starts, she shows second, first, second, second. Obviously, to me, that says, okay, she's in good form. Did have a really good work here on the 23rd of June. Hasn't raced here since the 19th of May, but did have that top work on the 23rd of June here at Belterra Park. She was a winner 2 starts back by 4.5 lengths. I love the Equibase comment on her line 2 starts back. Captured leader, clear. To me, drew off, just fell short last time out, but looks to be really sharp in with this group, and I'm going to give her a chance on top. So for second, I'm going to go with the 2, Whiskey Sis. To me, fits really well in with this group. Is going to go a little shorter distance today. Last time out was running at that 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile. Gets a little bit of distance relief, only going to go 5/8 in here today. Sunny Leone up, that's certainly never a bad thing. And for third, I'm going to go with the 3, Understandable. Taking a class drop from its last couple starts. Going to put some relief in here today. I think fits really well in with this group, and I'm going to round out my pick with the 3, Understandable. So I'm going to go 6, 2, 3.
And before we go any further, for our guests just arriving, we've got some free programs up here for you. So if you'd like to have a program or a program for the person sitting next to you, come on up and grab them while they are still sitting there. They are free, and they're for you, and they're for handicapping. In today's third race for me, Ashley, I go 6, 2, and 3. I go with Anti-Reen as well. Richie Esfanko is a very nice trainer indeed, winning 16%. Once again, a big drop in class from claiming price 12.5 down to 8,000, still sprinting 5 furlongs. And I see Anti-Reen being a major part of the pace here. If you go back 2 races ago, going 5.5, it was a whole different game. Could lay just off and really pounced on the far turn. And last time out was collared at the 8th pole. It said second best on the comment line. I think today there is a bit of improvement for this 6-year-old mare by Haynesfield. 2 for 5 in the money at Belterra Park. Anti-Reen is my top pick. And then I come back to Whiskey Sis, as you said, Sunny Leone. Say no more there. And I'm also going to throw in the 3, Ununderstandable, Tiago Canuto. We got speed, and a little more speed in this race.
So Ed and I are a match set here. We're both 6, 2, 3 in the third. Hopefully we're not leading you guys in the wrong direction here. So moving on to race 4, our Cincinnati Stakes, going 1 mile and 16th on the turf. Purse, $75,000. Very exciting.
In fact, it is. This is a real nice race. It took me a little while to handicap. We've got a scratch. We've got a couple rider changes here. Scratch the 1 part of the entry double edge. Scratch the 1 part of the entry double edge. And for number 4, Anemo Star, make the rider David Howdar. David Howdar rides the 4. And Guillermo Rodriguez rides number 6, Run Like Jackie O. So there's the changes in here. We're going to be going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Turf is firm. The turf rail is set at 12 feet, and it looks absolutely gorgeous out today. It's summer. What more could you ask for? A little bit of wind, but hey, if that's the worst part of our day, we got some winners for you here. Ashley, go ahead and lead us on. Ladies first here in the Cincinnati, and I think it was a very nice race.
It really is. My only question, Ed, we both talked about this right before our show started today, that none of these horses have turf experience. So, to me, that's kind of like, what direction do we go here? So I'm going to take the 6 on top, Run Like Jackie O. Rodney Faulkner trains. And this is a filly that I think fits really well in with Stakes Company. We've seen her in Stakes Company before, obviously very comfortable running against this type of horse. Thistle horses come in, do well over the surface. She is a multiple stakes placed filly, looks to be in excellent form, and I expect her really to show up today. For second, I'm going to use the 7, Wolfie's Princess. Didn't have a great start here on Best of Ohio Day. Does show getting beat over 19 3/4 distance. For me, anytime you get beat in the double digits, kind of definitely makes me kind of want to stay off of them a little bit. But did have back-to-back wins at Mahoning Valley this winter. So I would say had a little bit of a break, came back in from April to June, not her best out. Second start off of a little bit of a layoff, should be in much better shape today. I think she's right there with the pack. And for me, my third place horse, I'm going to use the 1A Out for Fun. This is another multiple stakes placed filly. The question for me in here for her is the distance. She shows running between 5/8 and 3/4. Today she goes 1 mile and 16ths. So for me, that's a little bit of the question. I'm 6-7, 1A in here. Ed, how about you?
I'm going to go 7, 3, and 5. I like Wolfie's Princess here, and you touched on a really important part. This is second start off of layoff. So that last time out, they're kind of getting all the screws tightened down. That was a Queen City Oaks. It was not an easy race at all. But the real trick here is you had to dig a little bit deeper. There's some turf breeding here. The Dam Almost an Angel is by Artie Schiller, and I believe Artie Schiller won the Arlington Million at one time. So that's something to take a look at here.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's leading me with a whole lot of hope. Luis Rivera in town to ride, who's winning 33% of the time here at Belterra Park. Mike Roan is a trainer. Roan is winning 21% on the year. I'm looking for a wire-to-wire effort here for the serial filly by Indy Wind. Luis Rivera, very, very tickled that he's aboard there, and I'm hoping I get anywhere near 5-2. I'm looking for a flag fall to That's All effort here. Then my next pick is right along. If you had two picks that could almost be twin brothers, that would be the 3 Gales Dancer, Larry Smith and Perry Utes teaming up together. The Dam Be Playful was stakes placed. She's got 1 start and 1 win to her credit, and also has a little bit of proclivity that she may enjoy the grass. Larry Smith wins 20% first-time grass runner, so you really have to factor that in. Ben Sprinting hasn't seen a fast track since April 2nd of 2022 at Mahoning Valley. It wins by 3/4 of a length, and they were going 3/4 that day. Today they're going to stretch out, so that means Perry Utes is going to usually find his usual spot. That's usually up near the front, and I like Gale's Dancer. And then I round out with number 5 in here, and this ends my trifecta, and that is Bossy Lady, Ashley. Bossy Lady.
Ed, are you calling me out on TV right now?
Well, no.
You know, Ed, I really like that filly too, and I kept looking at her. I stayed off of her today, but I can definitely see why you did use her in here for sure.
Bossy Lady.
Moving on to race 5, back on the dirt, going 3/4. This is an allowance race for our registered Ohio breds that have won 2 races in their lifetime.
In today's 5th race, an allowance event, scratch the 2B part of the entry mutiny, and a rider change for number 1 Quimby, make the rider David Howdar. I've really been watching this guy, and he's really, really up-stepping his game. I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump out and go first if I may. I'm going to start off with Quimby, right with David Howdar for Michael Evans II. Michael Evans is winning 23% of the time, doing really, really well. He's got a monster entry here. They've got a speed horse, a blistering speed horse with Nebulosa, and they've got a runner that can close. So they've got a rabbit and a closer. I think Michael Evans has got 2 aces up his sleeve right here. And I think this is going to be a nice run for Quimby here. I like Michael Howdar, how he's really coming along. And Nebulosa is really going to be out there winging it. So might set up Quimby quite well here. May improve by returning to a sprint. And for as far as a trainer-jockey combo, David Howdar would have really fit well here with Michael Evans because Rolando Aragon was 6 for 6 in the money. So maybe David Howdar is stepping into something really special here. My second pick in here is Condemnation. It's Tim Ham. Anytime I see Tim Ham, I really have to take a deep breath and definitely use before I would go to the windows. Condemnation, I think, is going to be a speedster here, 1 for 2 in the money at Belterra Park. 3rd start off of a layoff. One of my favorite angles here. Many gamblers always like 3rd start off of a layoff. Was heavily bet last time out, dropping down in class. And then I end out with the 6, and that is Simon Says.
Very nice, Ed. Well, I am going to pick off where you left off. I'm going to use the 6, Simon Says, on top. I've said it many times already this season that Larry Smith, Perry Utes is my favorite trainer jockey combo. For me, this horse is taking a little bit of distance and class relief today. Has been running its last 2 starts at 1 mile and 16th. Last time out was in our green carpet stakes, going for $100,000. Definitely getting some class relief from there. didn't really show much in that race. Does show getting beat 13 1/4. However, I got to take into consideration this horse just broke its maiden back here on the 29th of April, so still pretty green. But I think in here today, I'm looking at that start at 3/4. Or 3/4 again today, where she was a very much the best. Powerful performance was the Equibase line, Equibase comment on her line 3 starts back. I think today at 3/4 she fits in really well in here. For second, I'm gonna go with the 7 Elliott the Dragon. This is another horse that broke its maiden here. Broke its maiden at Mahoning Valley in April, 3 starts back. Going this 3/4 distance, should get a handle of this distance really well. Has been racing between 3/4, 5/8. We're going 3/4 today. Fits in really well here. Sunny Leone in the irons for Elliott Sullivan. Another very powerful combination. And for my bottom pick, I'm going to go with the 2 Condemnation. Didn't have a great performance in the stakes here back in May. Last start out, however, was only beaten a neck. Did look in much better form coming in from Thistledowns today. So for me, I'm going to go 6, 7, 2 in here with Simon Says on top.
Very good. On to race number 6. We got a start allowance event traveling 3/4 or 6 furlongs. Scratch number 1, Atlantic Princess. Scratch the 1 Atlantic Princess from today's 6 race. I'm going to go 4-2-5. I'm going to go with the 4, A Lot of Spunk. And that's Santiago Gonzalez aboard, winning 19% of the time. They are shipping in from Churchill Downs from April 30th. That was start allowance 10,000 that day. And she ran, this daughter, Justin Phillip, ran a nice, even race, ran 4th that day. Was bet pretty good. But now we're back at Belterra. And if you take a look at the standings here, there's 5 starts and 5 of which are in the money, 3 wins and 2 seconds. So that's a horse for a course angle there. Gonzalez moves up quite a bit. And if you go down in your past performances, go back to August 20th, August 4th, and June 22nd, win, and losing by a half. So a lot of spunk, definitely likes the course here. So that's my top pick. And then I go to Destiny's Darling. Michael Evans the second. I'm very impressed with her barn, winning 23% of the time with Rolando Aragon. They are a great tandem at 18% winners. And then I go to the 5, Hidden Identity, to round out my try.
For me, I'm going to go 2, 6, 5. I'm going to use the 2 Destiny's Darling on top in this field. Now, interesting, between the 2 and the 6, now they battled it out in their last start, 1, 2. The 6 horse Hold On to Your Tiara actually got a slight edge over the 2 Destiny's Darling. She came home a winner last time out. Destiny's Darling second best today. I think they are reversed today. I look for Destiny's Darling to just edge out over Hold On to Your Tiara. And for third, I also like the 5 Hidden Identity. John McKee up in the irons today. This horse fresh off of the claim too, making its first start for the new connection. So that's always definitely something to put a check mark next to on your handicapping comments for the day. So very interesting race in here.
It's your toolbox. Your toolbox is getting overfilled.
Our toolbox, absolutely.
Combined together, our toolbox is going to be the back of a truck by the time we get done with this season. But you know what?
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Having all the tools for handicapping is what makes you a winner, and that's what we're trying to impart.
Absolutely. Moving on into race 7. Back on the turf, going a 1.16 miles. This is the second running of our Queen City Overnight Handicap purse, $21,500. And I believe in here we only have 1 scratch, Ed, and is that the 7 taken to the cleaners out?
And we've got the 10 enchanted now. The 7 and the 10 are out from today's 7th race, traveling a 1.16 miles. The second running of the Queen City Overnight Handicap, 1.16 miles on the turf, and you're a turf specialist. Fire away.
I don't know about that. He's always giving me more credit probably than I deserve. All right, in the 7th race, I went 3, 2, 8 in here, 3, 2, 8. I used the 3 Princess Nina on top. Back-to-back winners. I love the Equibase comments on both of her last lines. If you look last time out, her comment is tons best, cleared, and then the line 2 starts back, huge lead, kept driving. I think she's going to do the exact same thing today, and she has got quite a bit of experience on the turf. Should be very, very close up there today. And then for second, I went with the 2 My Bets. Santiago Gonzalez in the irons for Philip Sens. I'm trying to read my might be writing. Churchill Invader is what I have written down. And we know these horses coming from Churchill, Ed, what do they do when they come here?
Roll. They roll right to the winner's circle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So definitely going to fit in here today. Should fit in with this group realistically. Been running in kind of some allowance, optional company, stakes company. Fits in with this group of fillies today. And then for third, I'm going to use the 8, Grisabella. The last 6 starts you see on this filly's lines are all stakes races. All stakes races. So going to get a little bit of relief in with this field today. She has won here at Belterra Park in the past, and trainer Jeffrey Radosevich, he comes here and always does really well. You cannot overlook him as a trainer. So for me in race 4, 3, 2, 8, going to throw Princess Nina on top.
I'm going to start with Princess Nina, Tiago Canuto for trainer Hugo Andre. They're winning 25% of the time as a team. And if I went back and watched that last race replay about 4 times, and that was an incredible closing effort with Canuto. And as the comment line reads, tons the best. And actually, that's putting it mildly. It was just incredible. And prior to that, she wins by 24 lengths. It doesn't matter if she's only running against 2 or 3 others. 24 lengths is incredible. And it's worth a play here. And as Ashley was saying, has a little bit of turf action on her side. 10 for 14 in the money on the turf. Her dam was a stakes winner, 7 starts, 6 wins, and 4 of which were turf winners. That's my top pick in here is Princess Nina. I go with the 2, My Bet, Santiago Gonzalez, training for the red-hot Phil Simms, who's winning 50. My Bets definitely deserves a heavy look. And then I end up with number 4, and that's Rogue 2, John McKee for Eric Reed.
And then moving on into our 8th race, we're going to go 3/4 on the dirt here. It's an allowance optional claiming with a $20,000 tag. In here, I went, actually, Ed, I believe we have a couple scratches. I'll tell you what I have for scratches, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think we've got the 3 In So Far out, the 5 Falcon's Fury out, and the 10 Cool Runnings.
Perfect.
Look at that. I got it right. So for me in race 8, I am going to go 6, 4, 1. I'm going to use the 6 Tequila Ranger on top in here. Has been running against a little bit better company at Churchill Downs. We've talked about the Churchill Downs horses coming in here doing really well. 2 starts back, was a winner here at Belterra Park by 5.5 in with allowance company. Fits back in with this group again today. Looks to be much the best for me. And for second, I went with the 4 Ash Flat, a winner its last time out at Mountaineer in allowance company, won by a length and a half. But what I like about the comment is even though it was a winner, stumbled and rushed early and still came home a winner in there. So for me, how good would it have been without that at the start, realistically?
Agreed. When you see those treble lines, that's worth its weight in gold. For me, on my top pick in here is Tequila's Ranger, Philip Jones and Victor LeBron. They're shipping back in from Churchill Downs back to Belterra Park, and as Ashley said, go back 2 races ago, and this 7-year-old got a son of U.S. Ranger, wins by 5.5 lengths. And the best part, we got another horse for a course, 2 for 2, and both of which are wins. He fits, and I think he's back in for a little class relief today. And then my second choice in here is the 9, and I'm really hooked on this barn. That is the Dane Kabisky barn. They're winning 36% of the time. Extremely red hot. John McKee aboard for Dane Kabisky. They're only getting their picture taken 44% of the time. And then I end out my try with the 1 Celestial Orb. Well, that does it here for Belterra Park. We've got 8 great races. We got the Queen City Handicap. We got the Cincinnati and Stakes, 8 live races, and a beautiful day. I'll leave you with only one thought. May your winners be many and your photos be few. And I'll let Miss Ashley close us out.
Oh, Ed, I have one special announcement that I have to make before we go off the air today. And Ed, that is to wish you a very happy birthday. Ed gets to hang out with us on his birthday.
Thank you so much. And it's a true pleasure. Hey, best of luck to everyone. And once again, we got some programs down here for the late arrivals. We'd love for you to take one up there. Enjoy your day at the races. If you have any questions, catch one of us. We're more than happy to help. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please honor America with the playing of our national anthem?